ready to vibe. My like flower crown is so high, I'm gonna be like out of frame. Like, isn't this such a whimsy vibe, you know, flower crown Mickey? Because this is the 10-year anniversary shirt and I needed a shirt and it's sparkly. It's a vibe, but do you know what this means? We're back, baby. So, I obviously have been slacking with Magical Readathon, if anyone has taken any notice. I only barely did the spring equinox in 2025. I didn't do the autumn equinox of 2025, and there is currently a readathon happening and I have not done it. But Kat at Hi Fae Cat decided to bring some whimsy, bring some joy, bring some structure back to reading by going through and starting the Magical Readathon again. And when she posted that, I was like, oh my god, like, I have been missing this in my life because I have just not been reading quick enough, but I'm finding the structure of only having a month to read like 10 books really daunting because I can barely finish one most of the time. And I am agreeing with her. I want some whimsy, I want some fun, I just want to experience reading in this way where I have to read the books for the challenges but without a time limit. So I messaged her and I'm like, hey, can I join you, because I just want to have some fun back in my life. And I actually have felt the need to read at the moment. Like, it's not a lot, and I'm excited too because some of the books that I've picked for the TBR today are from the pile that I set aside of books that I'm most likely possibly going to DNF, or I might unhaul them, that I did in my whole TBR video. So this is the first step into making that better. So I am going to do the novice path again. I'm going to build my character again. I'm going to do all of the years again because I think we're in year 5 now, and I had not passed a single year in the 4 that I did. So what I'm pretty much going to do is, obviously this is the novice path TBR and the building the character TBR, but it is just me coming back to Magical Readathon. But every year, the spring and autumn equinox, I'm going to do a TBR for both years when I get up to it. So it's not like, hopefully it won't take me 4 years, but I'm pretty much just going to film a new TBR when I've read all of the challenges, because some of the books that I've picked for my TBR, I might not end up finishing them and I'll pick a new book. So in wrap-ups, you'll see how I go, because I don't feel the need to make a whole separate wrap-up because I'm still going to be reading other books outside of this TBR as well, so I'm not too structured, but I'm just excited. And yes, Opal is staying. She is still going to be my main character. I'm just changing a couple of things about her and I'm changing her career for something different. But she's still Opal. She's still an earthling. She still has earth magic, but we're just changing her up just a little bit. And like, look at the effort, right? I put into my new cover. See, this was like the last mini challenge I was going to do about library cats and I did not do that. But this is my new structure because I thought, you know, because this whole notebook is full and full and full of books and TBRs and notes about it, but I wanted to keep using my book because I still have quite a lot of pages. So we're still using the book. I haven't printed out the photo for Opal yet, but we are still Opal Rosewood. I'm still going to stay Order of the Crescent just because it is the one that I vibed with the most anyway, and I think that it works for Opal. But the calling that I'm changing to though is actually, when I get the right word, is Dreamwalker, because even though she's an earthling with earth magic, I still feel like I want her to be more invested in like the paranormals and like the world. Like, I feel like she would be really kind of obsessed with astrology and all these different things, and her powers, I feel like being very connected to earth could also relate to the mind of going into dreams, but it would be a very calming situation for her. So dreamwalkers can project themselves into other people's dreams. Many of them work with healers and mind menders. They actually assist in the recovery process by keeping patients in the dream realm, warping it to be happy and relaxing. Like, I feel like that's a good job for Opal. Like, before I had her being a beastmaster, and that just was like, that was fun at the time, but really I just don't really want animals to be getting hurt or anything. And I know that wasn't what Beastmaster was, but I just think nature-y and healing and helping people seems more like Opal's kind of a life journey. So obviously they are talking about the ethics of like people going to people's dreams without their consent and stuff, but I would really like to heavily keep Opal on the side of healing, because they say here that a lot of dreamwalkers divert on their own and start to do like secret missions. That's not what she's about. She's just there to help people and she just wants to heal them and make them feel better, but I also feel like her earth magic would also help in that process as well. And I think 2, because they do say that you can implant ideas into people's thoughts that they will try to prevail upon when they're awake. And again, I would want her to prevail thoughts of healing and rest and relaxation, and maybe like to stop people procrastinating, because that is my problem. And see, look at this. Dreamwalkers also have control over their own dreams, thus all their dreams are lucid. As a result, they are some of the most skilled, intelligent, and well-balanced members of the magical community. So the key traits are unyielding, purposeful, mindful, and intuitive. So that's all the things that I want Opal to be. So that is where we have changed. So obviously I have also decided to change her to an urban background instead of a wildling, because before it was like she's in a small town with all her family. She's the 5th one in a generation that's had earth magic. So she did that in her childhood, and as she got older she moved to an urban setting so that she could actually experience life. She grew up in Etheria but moved to Carador to live more life. Opal met many people and made many lasting friendships. Opal's an earth mage but has an affinity for the stars and dreams and wants to discover herself as she studies and finds her place. So that is the vibe we're going for, is she's going out in the world, she's making memories, she's making life, kind of like I want to. So she is from Carador now, but as I said, she was born in Etheria, and she is still an earthling, a type earth, and the lunar phase at birth, I've decided to change her to a blood moon, because I feel like that more imbalances the idea of, you know, astrology, moon skills, you know. This is the vibe that we are giving her, and I'm excited. So obviously going to be walking down the novice path again, and I know you only have to complete 2 out of the 7 prompts to walk the novice path and actually make it, but I'm going to do all of them. So the original map for this, because I didn't print it back out. So this is the original map. So these were the 3 that I attempted the first time around. So this time around I'm going to attempt all of them, but I'm also not going to read them in order. The only time I'm going to try and read in order is for the autumn equinox, because with the ordinary, distinguished, and the other one, you need to read them in order as you finish the like subjects. So like that makes sense to me, but other than that, I'm just going to read to whatever I fancy. Challenge number 1 is to read a book with a map. So I picked one at random off the pile of fantasy books that I have in that pile, and I got The Orphan Queen by Jodi Meadows. Can't even remember what this is about. Okay, so her kingdom was captured and she's been living in an enslaved kingdom, and then obviously when she comes of age there could be a soldier, there could be an enemy warrior, someone's gonna come and get her, she's gonna fall in love with someone. I feel like it's gonna be very generic, but it might shock me if it's something different, but I do own the second book as well. She also has secret magic, so I'm excited. But map that is there, so you know that I'm not lying, is right here. It's a freaky looking map, to be honest. Like, there's not much land and there's like a lot of sea. But obviously, as I said, I think in that other video, I'm going to try and give each book 20% before I give up on them. So I'll see how I go. I probably will still struggle to actually ever DNF a book, but at least if I try them all, I'm going to feel a bit better about that. Number 2 is a book that keeps tempting me, top of my TBR list, and I'm very excited because it is going to be my next read. Things for Nothing by Stephanie Holmes. I am so excited. I think this is going to be a good time. When it first came out, so many people were talking about it, and there's just something about the fact that she is hired to be a housekeeper, not knowing it is in the house of a vampire, and then he's going to fall in love with her, obviously. This is the type of thing I want to read. I just want some wholesome, quirky stories, and I think there is also a book club in this as well with a bunch of girls, so I'm assuming that the rest of the books are going to be about each member of the book club, and I'm just very excited. So I'm going to finish Hunger Games and then I'm going to pick this up, and I just cannot wait. Number 3 is to read a standalone, and again, I just went to my pile of YA contemporaries this time and I picked one with not many pages that's a standalone. I mean, I hope. To me it feels like it's a standalone, but I have The Square Root of Summer by Harriet Rutter Hapgood. I've owned this book for so long and I really probably missed the window of actually reading it, but the thing is, I didn't know that this was time travel, so this might actually be interesting. So I think what happens is someone dies at the end of the summer and then she's brought back to the start of the summer and she's trying to stop this death from happening, and that actually sounds quite interesting. Like, this might be a good book, and I've had it for so long. I just really thought it was a romance, and I assume there will be romantic elements, but I'm like, time travel? I have not read a time travel book for ages, and I think this will be a good time. Number 4 is read a book featuring ghosts / haunted house or other supernatural elements, and I am going to choose other supernatural elements because I just, like, I'm sure I have ghost stories, but I just can't think of it, and I just want to read something with werewolves. So, Alpha Girl by Leah Stone. So I am going to make myself get back into this series so that I can read book 3 and book 4 so that I can finally finish this vlog that I started filming before Babe. But these books are incredibly easy to read, and I have been annotating them, and I think this will not be too hard for me to get through. And if I do end up just picking up the 4th book after this so that I can finish this series, I won't be mad, because getting books off my TBR, finishing a series, I'm going to feel really good about it. But these are really dumb. Like, basically it's like The Bachelorette but werewolf version, and she gets pulled into it by accident, and then he ends up really falling in love with her, and she is a werewolf that her wolf comes out of her body, and that's like really wrong. So she doesn't actually turn into a werewolf. It's just she and her wolf are like separate entities where they should be like the same. But she also falls in love with the guy, and he falls in love with her, and it's great. Like, it's a fun time, and I just really enjoyed it. It's so dumb, it's so simple, but it's a fun time, this series, and I cannot wait to continue. Number 5 is to read a thriller or mystery book. So I thought it was finally time to continue on with my Holly Jackson book. So I bought 5 Survive ages ago and don't really know that much about it, but I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I'm pretty sure any mystery that Holly Jackson has is going to be a good one, and I really love trying to guess it, and sometimes I'm off, but sometimes I get it right, and I just am excited to see where this story is going to go. But it just says here, 8 hours, 6 friends, 1 sniper, and I'm pretty sure like their car breaks down and there's someone in the woods trying to kill someone, and I'm just invested. Like, I think this is going to be a fun time. Number 6 is to read a 5-star prediction, and I just kind of picked a book just randomly because there is a lot of books that I'm excited to read that I think I'm really going to enjoy, but I'm definitely sure I'm going to enjoy this one. So Secret Suit by Teenie Page. It has been too long since I've read The Other Brother, and I got this at Rare, so I am very excited to try and actually pick this one up. I'm still so disappointed that because there isn't any book signings at the moment, I can't get the 3rd book in an arc from Teenie Page, because she had them at both of her book signings for Babe and Rare, and it makes me so sad. I have tried signing up for the mailing list for Hachette, but I don't know how well that's gonna go, but maybe down the line I'll get sent this, or maybe someone will want to let go of their copy after they've read it, but I just really wanted to have the matching set. But I'm so excited for Gemma's story, and I think this is going to be a good one. It's age gap, it is her brother's best friend, and I think it is going to be so good, and I cannot wait to pick this one up. Number 7, it is book with a school setting. So I was not really feeling the magical school setting, so I've just picked a YA contemporary that just seems to be set at school. So I've got, if I'm being honest, my Emily Wibbly and Osman Sidman Broker. I've had this one for so long, and I do hope that it will be a quick and easy read. Like, the writing seems quite big, and it is a retelling of Taming of the Shrew, which I don't know a lot about, but I know that the first one was a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but from the perspective of Rosalie. So I think hopefully this will be good, but basically there is a school musical happening, so I feel like it's like theatre at school, and basically the main character is a big arsehole, and then she realises that she's an arsehole, so she wants to repent, so she tries to apologise to everyone that she's ever been an arsehole to, and then meets a guy. So it's the vibe. So again, not sure if this is going to be like right up my alley, because they are children and I am clearly not anymore, but maybe it will surprise me. So now I'm just adding into the TBR the background, the province, the heritage books that I need to read so that I can fully create Opal again. So the only thing I'm not going to do is like getting my conduit and all that kind of stuff, because I still want her to have a bow as her conduit, and then this special power of House of the Crescent is having an animal familiar. So before she had a tiger familiar named Nala, I'm actually going to change it to the little frog that's in her photo. Like, I will find it, but this is my photo of Opal, and she's got a little frog in her head. So they did say that they're meant to be really small, so that's her parts of her feature with her bow and arrow and everything. So for urban, I have to read a book set in a city or town. So I'm finally going to attempt to read Tonight the Streets Are Ours by Leela Sales. Do you know how many TBRs I've put this book on? Not for a long time, because it's been so long since I've actually filmed a TBR video, but I used to always say I was going to read this book, and I just haven't done it. It is literally like 330 pages, but basically they're in New York City, and I think she either wants to be an actress or a singer or whatever, and she goes to find this guy who is famous, and then they like spend the night together in New York or something. Like, it sounds like it would be promising, but it could also be really dumb. So we will see. But as I said, if I decide to DNF any of these books, I will just swap them out for another book because I still want to finish the challenge. Doesn't mean I have to finish it with the book that I'm talking about, but I will still get all these challenges done at some point. Like, I generally think it will probably take me at least 6 months to a year to get this TBR done, but it will happen eventually. So for Corridor, I have to read a book from an ongoing series. So I'm picking The Cock Down the Block by Amy Award because there's meant to be 7 books in this series and only 5 of them are out. So it is still an ongoing series as publication, but it is not an ongoing series to me because I have not started the first book. But I want to start reading some of the books that I got at the book signings because it's like, I shouldn't just buy them and then have them sitting there. Like, that just seems so dumb. Like, the writing is big, but it like covers a lot of the page. Like, it does go quite into the like seams there. But this one's only 290 pages. It looks like it's a lot bigger than that, doesn't it? These are very thick pages, so I don't think this will take me too long and I can actually start this series and hopefully continue on with all the books. But I've heard so many good things. I think this is going to be a fun time, and obviously half the TBR is books that I'm not that keen about but want to give a go, and then the other half is books that I'm so excited to pick up. And then I have to pick a book for Earthlings, so read a book with elemental magic or an element word in the book or series title. So air, fire, earth or water. So I do own books with elemental words in the titles, but I just don't want to read them, so I'm going to actually pick up a book that will finish a trilogy for me. So we have Siren Song by Mary Weber, and I know technically lightning magic is not one of the 4 elemental magics, but doesn't it count for water and wind? It's like a weird mix, like a weird baby that those 2 elements make, and I really need to finish this series because me and Kat from Brews and Reviews did a buddy read in person for this one when she came to Australia that we did for Storm Siren, and then we recently read the 2nd book together, and now we do need to read the 3rd book together. So I'm putting it on the TBR, but we will obviously pick a time that works for both of us that we will read this together and actually finish the series. And the 2nd book wasn't the best, like it was a bit boring, but I'm hoping that the 3rd book is going to bring it, and it's got 360 pages, so it's not that bad. Like, I think I've picked good page counts. Like, I really do like a book under 400 pages because you feel accomplished when you finish it, but I just do really hope that it's going to have a good ending. But yes, this is my TBR for the next little while of books that I do want to attempt to read, so fingers crossed that I can. But I just feel like it's possible, you know, like I have been so unmotivated with my reading lately, and this just feels like, you know, it's a possibility. Like, if I could get through these books, you know, in the next couple of months, like, that would be really great. Like, goal is to get the next TBR video filmed and uploaded before the end of the year. That would be great. And then I can start on my next little collection of books, because the next TBR, because with the career that I've chosen, because I haven't written books down because I just don't know what I'm going to feel like reading, but for the spring equinox I have to read 7 books for 7 subjects, but for the autumn equinox I have to do 5 subjects, but I have to read 8 books for those subjects, so that's going to be 15 books in my next TBR, so it's a bit higher, and then the next TBRs for the next couple of years are going to be 15 every time, so it's like definitely half yearly TBRs at that point. But then if I get distracted by reading other books. So I do try to put in books that I do want to read next, or it's for buddy reads or something's going on, but generally it's just going to be a busy and fun time, but I am excited. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. Are you still completing a magical readathon? Have you still been going with it, or are you going to start again too? Like, maybe we'll start a movement here. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed my TBR video, and look out for the wrap-ups when I eventually start talking about the fact that I get some of these read. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!